Forge, Chapter 31. The questions fired at me like blasts of a grape shot soon as I entered the hut. You work for a congressman? What kind of work? Were you a valet? Did you serve tea? Why didn't you tell us? Is he rich? He's got to be rich. He's a congressman. Why would a congressman ride such a sickly nag? Enough! I shouted. I can't answer if you're all shouting. I took my time sitting in front of the fire, trying to sort out what I could and could not tell them. When I worked for Mr. Billingham, when I worked for him, Mr. Billingham was not a congressman. I cannot say for sure that he is one now. He's a man of business. I pulled off my right stocking and wrung the water from it. His father was a firm supporter of the king, but Mr. Bellingham was not. He wrote pamphlets supporting the rebellion and joined the Sons of Liberty, which angered his father so much the old man disowned him, and that's when he moved to New York. The two of you moved together? Eben asked. I laid the stocking right in front of the fireplace. Bellingham and his wife moved. I went with them, of course, because I worked for them. I took off the second stocking and squeezed the water from them too. Mr. Billingham opened a trading firm there, for his livelihood and a ruse. Part of his true purpose in New York was to operate a hive for spies for General Washington. New York was crawling with two-faced Tories. Hold there a moment, Sylvanus said. You worked for a knob who worked for His Excellency, George Washington? I laid the second stocking next to the first. I just said that, yes. You ever seen the general? Ever serve him wine or light his pipe? I dared not admit the truth of the matter. Only from a distance, I said, when I was holding Mr. Billingham's horse or delivering a message. One of my stockings started to smoke. I pulled it away from the hearth before it could burst into flame. I'm confused. Henry Barry had wrapped himself in his blankets. I thought you were an apprentice to a blacksmith. That was later. I left Mr. Billingham's service to enlist just before the British invaded New York. You must have been young as a pup when you started with him. I surely was. That part doesn't matter. Tomorrow does. We should all go with Curzon. Oh no, warned Betty Edwards. We weren't invited. What if those ruffians come after him again? Eben said. We'll be his escort to safety. While he talks to the congressman, we'll wait in the kitchen. Think about it. The kitchen that feeds visitors from Congress. Don't you think there might be a few crumbs there for lads like us? Not to mention a proper floor and chairs to sit upon, Sylvanus said. No, I said firmly. I go alone. He's right, Greenlaw said. There's a reason he was the only fellow invited. Eben and Sylvanus both sighed deeply. You want to wear my boots? Benny asked. My feet are the closest in size to yours. Thank you, but no. I'd rather have Faulkner's. Faulkner lifted a tattered shoe in the air. A walk that far will be the death of them. If that happens, I shall be sure to shame the Congress into finding you another pair, I promised. Your shoes are the closest to what most fellows have. I aim to show them what the real Valley Forge is. Is there any flour left? I want to cook up some fire cake for them to eat with their tea. They roared with laughter, and I finally relaxed, having succeeded in diverting their questions for the moment. That night, the fellows stacked on their bunks above and below me snored and itched all the way through the hours of darkness. The wind blew through the cracks in the walls, and the fire hissed and popped. I watched the light and the shadows chase each other around the floor and pondered my course of action. Bellingham was overly fond of two phrases. This tea is cold, and everything is trade. He always claimed that all the issues of the world could be boiled down to a bargain sealed between two people. I didn't have much to bargain with, but I had little choice. We'd be stuck in camp for months yet, plenty of time for John Burns to get up to more mischief. I hit upon my plan just as the rat-a-tat-tat of the brigade drummers signaled a new day.